Welcome to The Explainer. You ever wonder why some stories just click? They just make perfect sense. Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the hidden architecture of language. We're talking about the tools you're already using every single day to build really compelling arguments and stories.
It all boils down to these three simple questions, right? They are the absolute engine of every story, every explanation, every conversation we have. Why did it happen? So what happened next? And maybe most importantly, what was the point of it all? They're just hardwired into how we think.
So, in this explainer, we're popping open that very toolbox. We're going to look at the powerful kind of invisible structures you use, probably without even thinking about it, to talk about cause, consequence, and purpose with amazing precision.
All right, first up, let's tackle that first huge question that kicks off basically every story. Why? Why did something happen? This is what we call the grammar of cause. I mean, the idea of cause is pretty fundamental, isn't it? It's simply the why behind any event. And as you're about to see, the English language has this incredible set of tools designed specifically to help us explain it. And just look at the variety here. This is what's so cool. We can be super direct with a simple phrase, or we can build out a more complex argument using entire clauses. Every single choice you make changes the focus of what you're saying just a little bit. Using prepositional phrases like because of or due to, well, that's probably the most direct way to do it. It just gets right to the point. You often stick the reason at the very beginning of the sentence, so there's absolutely no confusion. Okay, now this. This is a really subtle but super powerful distinction. You tend to use as or since when everybody already knows the reason. The real news is what comes next. But you use because when the reason is the new, important piece of information. And think about it, that's a huge tool for persuasion. If you use as or since, you're framing the reason like it's a done deal, an established fact, which makes it way harder to argue with. So that leads us perfectly from the why to the so what, right? Once you've got a cause, the next logical step is always, okay, what happened because of that? We're talking about the result, the consequence.
Cause and consequence really are just two sides of the same coin, aren't they? They're totally linked. One explains the why that got the ball rolling, and the other one explains what happened next as a direct result.
And yup, you guessed it, just like with cause, we've got a whole dedicated toolkit just for talking about consequences. These are the words and structures that are basically a big signpost, telling your listener, hey, a result is coming up. These words, which are called conjuncts, are fantastic. They're like these little logical bridges. They connect two different ideas or sentences, and they explicitly show that the second one is a result of the first. It just makes everything flow so much better. You can see that bridge in action right here. That one word, consequently, does so much work. It doesn't just connect two facts. It forges them into this really clear, undeniable cause and effect statement. It's powerful stuff. Now, for a really slick, efficient way to show a consequence, check out the to and enough structure. The word to is just this brilliant piece of grammatical shorthand. It almost always hints that something bad happened or that a condition wasn't met. And there it is. Being too ill, that's the cause, directly results in the inability to survive, the negative consequence. That simple little structure packs so much meaning into just one tight, elegant phrase.
So on the flip side of to, you've got enough. And this word does the exact opposite. It signals that, hey, the necessary condition has been met, which opens the door for a positive or successful outcome.
See? Listening carefully enough, that's the action that met the requirement, and it directly results in the positive outcome, being able to understand. It's such a clean and efficient way to show that, because a requirement was met, success followed. Okay, on to our final big question. What was the point of it all? This brings us to our third core idea, the grammar of purpose. You might also hear this called finality. Now, purpose is really close to cause, but there's one key difference. It's all about the future. It's not about the why that already happened. It's about the why that's driving you forward, towards some kind of goal or intention. And what's crucial here is just picking the right tool for the job. Is it a simple purpose? Just use for. Is the same person doing both actions? Then you'll probably use a to infinitive. Or are there different people involved? Well, then you'll need a full clause with so that. Each one signals the intention perfectly. So we've looked at all these specific tools for cause, consequence, and purpose. Now let's zoom out for a second and look at the master category where a lot of these tools live. We're talking about the real workhorses of the English language, adverbials.
This is the big picture. Adverbials are these incredibly flexible, powerful parts of our sentences that do all kinds of jobs. So you've got your adjuncts, which just add extra info, like how or when something happened. You've got conjuncts, which are those logical bridges we talked about, like consequently. Then you've got disjuncts, which are so cool. They actually tell you the speaker's opinion, like when you say fortunately. And finally, subjuncts, which just add a bit of focus or emphasis. All those tools we've been talking about, they fit right into these categories.
So here's the main takeaway. Getting a handle on how to signal cause and consequence and purpose, that is the huge difference between just listing off a bunch of random facts and actually telling a compelling, logical, and really persuasive story.
Honestly, these structures really are the invisible architecture of good communication. But now you can see them. And once you can see them, you can start using them with way more power and intention. So next time you're writing an email or telling a friend a story, just listen for them. You have the tools. The only question now is, what are you going to build with them?